Hello, this is Histrivia number 17, and in this one we're going to be doing Shay's Rebellion. Now, Shay's Rebellion is extremely important in early American history. This is during the period of the Articles of Confederation. Now, if you know anything about the Articles of Confederation, which I might do a video on later on, it made the state governments extremely powerful, while the overall federal government was very weak. And it basically left the states to do whatever they wanted. So anyway, back to Shay's Rebellion. This happened in 1787, close to around the time when the convention for the Constitutional Convention was called. Um, it was led by Daniel Shay, who was a officer during the Revolutionary War. Now, the farmers in Boston with Shay, they did not like uh, that the state of Massachusetts was basically running their lives. Um, they incurred high debts on the farmers if they wouldn't pay. In some cases, they couldn't pay because they were so poor. They would be put into debtor's prison, have horrible conditions, and they would have no say in what went on. So anyway, Shay and this group of farmers, mainly former Revolutionary War veterans, thought this was unfair. So they decided to basically rebel against the courts. During the spring of 18, well, not 18, during the spring of 1786, Shay, in a big meeting with former revolutionary heroes, basically said, if we're going to get anything done, we need to close down the state courts. After we close down the state courts, then they won't be able to tax us, they won't be able to jail us, they won't be able to do anything to us if we close down the state courts. In fall of that year, Shay's army formed to rebel against the Massachusetts government, and in September, late September of that year, they marched to debtors' courts. Their overall goal was to shut down the courts and arrest court officials who they saw as greedy and corrupt. This, however, was a mixture of emotions. It was thought of as pure panic by the rest of the country. Samuel Adams, who was all for, during the revolution of freedom of expression, freedom of the press, freedom of everything. He was against Shay's rebellion. He was like, whoa, 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 hold on there. This is way too much. This is not what we wanted. So you have those like Samuel Adams say, no, we should install a military act, which they tried to do. Under Samuel Adams, he wanted the leaders tried and hung for treason. He instated a military act in 1786 to put down the militia and to put to death anyone caught forming a militia against the government. Unfortunately, though, the federal government tried to stop it, but they couldn't. Everything was out of control. Shay's rebels were closing down courts all throughout Massachusetts, not just Boston. The state government tried to raise an army to stop the rebels. On January 25th, 1787, Shay and his 2,200 men raided the Springfield Armory, and they went into open pitched combat with these forces the state government sent out to take care of them. In the end, it wasn't really good for the rebels. A lot of them died. 150 of them, along with Shay, were sent to hang. And it wasn't really good. But what Shay's rebellion basically suggested to the country was that these Articles of Confederation had to go, that this was not working, to hold on to the country, and that if they keep going the way that they were going, it would basically break the Confederation apart, and they needed something stronger to hold it together. So it's after Shay's rebellion, you have calls for a convention of the states to either redo the Articles of Confederation, or in some cases, some of the delegates wanted to totally get rid of it and start a brand new document. So it's really Shay's rebellion that sets off the Constitutional Convention in 1787.